Tomorrow's Thanksgiving.
Turkey and dressing and pie and cake.
And fruit salad and whipped cream and cranberries. Gee, I can hardly wait. Me too.
Well, you know, children, we've had a lot of expenses this month, and, well, your father and I thought that... Well, the truth of the matter is, there just won't be any turkey this year.
No turkey for Thanksgiving?
Oh, I'm going to make a pumpkin pie. We'll have plenty to eat, but, well, we'll just have to get along without turkey.
Mom, you don't mean it. It won't be Thanksgiving at all.
Even the Pilgrims had a feast. After all, isn't that what Thanksgiving's for? I don't think it's fair.
Yes, the time has come. We gather around the table with our loved ones. This year, a smaller table, less people. We're in a pandemic. Please remember, let's protect one another. Wine flows while you loosen your belt to make room for that second plate. It's been a rough year, and I think we can all agree that we love a second to sit back and think about all the things we're grateful for. But is it just me, or does that lingering primary school education on the original Thanksgiving still sit uncomfortably in the back of your mind too? Yeah, I thought so. As Indigenous activist Christine Nobis said, it's past time to honor the Indigenous resistance, tell the story as it really happened, and undo romanticized notions of the holiday that have long suppressed Indigenous perspectives. So today, we aim to do just that. This is How Did We Get Here? A Thanksgiving story. The first Thanksgiving, as many understand it, was in 1621 between the Pilgrims of Plymouth Colony and the Wampanoag tribe in present-day Massachusetts. Today, the Wampanoag make up two federally recognized tribes, the Mashpee Wampanoag and the Aquinnah Wampanoag tribe of Gay Head. While records indicate this celebration did happen, there are a few misconceptions we need to clear up. So, number one, there is no evidence that the Wampanoag people were even invited in the first place. An account from the time said 90 members of the Wampanoag tribe were present, but some experts believe that these 90 men were an army sent by Wampanoag leader Usamiquin at the sound of gunshots, which apparently was part of the celebration. Later, when Usamiquin formed an alliance with the colonizers, it only existed because the Wampanoag people were ravaged by diseases brought by European colonizers in the years prior. It was less about intercultural harmony and more about survival. Following Thanksgiving, celebrations by European settlers often marked brutal victories over Native people, like the Pequot Massacre of 1636 or the beheading of Wampanoag leader Metacom in 1676. So, how did we get from disease spreading, enslaving, colonizers wreaking havoc on Indigenous people to the stories we're all taught about peace, harmony, and intercultural education? Well, the main contemporary historical account from the time is the Journal of William Bradford, called Of Plymouth Plantation. Bradford's journal was lost for almost 2 centuries and then rediscovered in the 1850s in Plymouth, UK, which, according to native art curator Joe Loosemore, led to a rise in Victorian fascination with the Mayflower story. But the Victorian version eliminated any Wampanoag history or perspective, blurring the fact and the fiction about 1620 right up until the present day. As Paula Peters, a Wampanoag historian, states, it really has been a comfortable way to look at history. The Mayflower arrived, they met this friendly Indian named Squanto.
You are Squanto. My name, Bradford. William Bradford. Me, small man. Not big man. Governor Carver, big man. Governor means...
A mouth is good enough for speaking, William Bradford. Squanto, understand your words, without hands moving.
Good. Good.
And then she adds, most people don't ask themselves how Squanto was able to communicate with the colonizers. Yeah, I'm a little embarrassed that I hadn't thought of that until now either. But it's okay, we're learning.
Massasoit spoke some English, but he relied on one person to tell the English what the Wampanoags needed. His name was Squanto.
Squanto has something very special, right? He knew about both cultures. He knew about English culture, and he knew about his own culture.
Tisquantum, who most people know as Squanto, was a Patuxet Wampanoag person. He had been kidnapped, and he was in Europe when the plague swept through from 1616 to 1618. With the help of an Englishman named Thomas Dermer, he was able to make his way back to Patuxet, where he found his whole community was decimated. I think it's easy to feel for him. You know, everyone he knew was gone.
Oh, this is so disturbing. If you're frustrated about how wrong your textbooks were as a kid, the textbook review process places primary responsibility on publishers to ensure the accuracy of their textbooks. Publishers must sign an agreement that if factual or editing errors are identified in the publisher's textbook, they must submit a corrective action plan for a review and approval by the Board of Education. And if you're wondering, who appoints this elite group that has the power to approve or disapprove necessary corrective changes for the betterment of our educational future, aka the Board of Education, well, it's you. Go vote. We can't stress this enough. It makes a difference. In fact, there were some major wins for Indigenous people on our last election. The Native delegation in the U.S. House expanded by 2 on election day. They will join 4 other Native Americans who want re-election. Native American women also made strides in other areas of government. Democrat Stephanie Byers' Chickasaw Nation became Kansas's first transgender state legislator. Democrat Christina Haswood, a 26-year-old Navajo Nation member, became the youngest person in the Kansas legislature. Democrat Ponca-Wee Victors was re-elected as a member of the Kansas House to represent District 103. So keep showing up, keep voting, it's making a difference. And while you're celebrating this week, whether it's a traditional American Thanksgiving or more Indigenous traditions like the National Day of Mourning or the Indigenous Peoples Sunrise Ceremony, make sure you honor Indigenous people, their resistance, and their resilience.